Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Holy Smoke preview. Just a little couple housekeeping things as we get started. The sale is going to start at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Bidding will be available on cci.live. I tell everybody, be diligent as we go through the preview. These breeders certainly set back pigs for this sale as they do every year, and there's pigs to be bought here that'll be in your budget. It's not like a barn burner online sale. They're not all going to bring 5,000. Be diligent. Look at the pigs. You'll find some deals. This is a great way to start here with Trace. I'll let Wilbur tell you what they are.
Yeah, just like JD said, you know, my favorite thing about smoke is I always feel like it's a pre-show of what's going to come. This first pig that we have in the ring here now would be tag 8. This pig would be a promotion, no huddle. Same mom as the Goodson pig that would have sold at this sale last year that went on to be reserve grand there at OIE. Also would be the same, the sow would be the same mother as the Hagen gilt that was grand gilt there at California State Fair and California Youth Expo. Obviously, you know, just proof is in the pedigree and in behind the breeders and what they're capable of, pre-show of what's going to come in March. I think a real good pig here, JD.
Yeah, I think a real fun way to start. And obviously, we had our hands on that one out of this sow last time. And honestly, this one comes in here, and I think he's honestly as tailor-made for the judge this year as the one was for the judge last year. This thing's sharp. He's stout. Angles and joints are all very good out of a very good mom. Probably not a lot of guesswork to be done here.
Coming in here now, it'd be tag 10 and tag 11, a couple more of the Tres Amigos consignments. This pair of pigs would be blowing smokes back on a pace car sow. Their mom is a first litter gilt that they're very excited about. You know, she's a pace car tricked out back on the Kilmer York sow. Her mother is a litter mate to keep cool at Top Cut. Again, they drop in here, you know, a pair of pigs that, you know, got the fuzz, got all the things we're talking about. You know, originally just the one that gravitates my attention immediately is the one Ruger's on. I think a stout mugged one that's real neat here.
Yeah, I think this pair of pigs is obviously very good, and I got to drive up there and look at these pigs at the farm, and they were set back for holy smoke the whole time. It didn't matter if you drove to Rensselaer to try to buy pigs or not. They weren't going to sell them to you because they were going to bring them to holy smoke, and this is the kind you want to bring to the pig sale. Studying on both these, little variation maybe in type and kind here. I'd say regardless of the type you want to feed, there's one in the ring that should suit you.
In the ring now, it'd be the last of the Tres Amigos consignments. Ruger here is on the Duroc gilt. That would be tag 9. That one is a Waymaker creation. Mom is the Bloomberg gilt from Olson. That was supreme overall there at NJSA. Looks like she had an awesome career. She would also be the mother of Ivy League there at Schaefer's Gold Rush. And then the Duroc male there, tag 12 that Chloe's on, is a built-up Statement Day. Mom is a litter mate to the $100,000 triple threat boar at Premium Blend and Grand Overall Pure Bear 23 at Expo. Obviously, a pair of reds that come with, pedigrees that, provide proven and continued success. We wouldn't expect anything else other than that from the Tres Amigos crew. A neat type of a pair of red pigs that we have in the ring now.
Yeah, I think the cool thing about this pair is that the gilt looks like a gilt should. That thing's got an awesome look from the side, and it's still broody bodied. Got to appreciate the way she's built at the ground. And then this male pig looks like a bruiser. Comes out here with a big forehead and a stout skull and big arms. Thing just looks like a heavyweight market hog someday that's going to be hard to get around. This program has had an incredible run, and the Red Show brings you a pair here that I'm sure they're planning on having success.
In the ring now, we have Kilmer Swine Farm, and they're no stranger to the Holy Smoke pig sale, and continue to have pigs that sell at this sale that go on and finish and feed. There would be tag 1 would be the one that Ruger's on. He's a safety first, tricked out. Safety first is the boar there that Danner bought from them there last year. Mother is a litter mate to Platt's All White gilt that won several times. A couple winters ago. Think of a unique type of pig there again. That's tag 1 that Ruger's on, and then we have tag 4 and tag 5. The pair of white ones. Chloe would be on tag 5, and then their tag 4 would be on the far side of the ring. They would be safety first, tricked out. Again, the safety first boar there at Danner's, and their mother is a litter mate too to Platt's All White one. I think a really good pair of pigs that we have in the ring now.
Yeah, we'll let test. 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 Yeah, I'm glad we had a little technical difficulty here to allow these pigs just a little extra time to calm down in the ring, because I know white hogs have been at a premium this season. If you've tried to buy and find good white ones, it's been almost an impossible task. It's neat to see that 2 good white pigs are in the ring right now that honestly just look like the feeding kind. I mean, these things have got a sharp look up front, yet still compact enough about their body length to be bold and have some cage to them. I think as you watch either of these pigs in motion, I think just hind leg design is good. I think that pair, very similar in the way they're put together. That breed's been hard to get a hold of. I'd say study in there. And that is not to discount this tag 1 pig. That thing's got an awesome look from the side, and the unique kind of proportions and just design that show judges are drawn to. I think Jimmy brought a really good set of pigs. I'd encourage you to go talk to him in the back, get these things out. I think some pigs that are certainly going to feed well.
Another pair of the Kilmer Swine Farm consignments here would be tag 2 and 3. The tag 2 would be the gilt there that Chloe's on. Tag 3 is the white back feet pig there. These two pigs would be a pair of litter mates. Again, they'd be caught napping. Rumor has it Grandma is the mom. Safety first, and click it at Danner's. Just one comment that I would have here is not very often is it that Mr. Kilmer comes to town and sells a female. When he does, they're pretty elite, and when this one's head just immediately enters the gate, she strikes me. JD can tell over here I'm starting to get excited. This thing's got a noggin on her that reads with all kinds of quality. I think a really intriguing pair in the ring now.
Yeah, I knew that one would be Wilbur's kind. He probably speaks and believes as much as in head shape as any guy you'll ever talk to about show pigs. And I think the common denominator between these pigs is that they do have the right shape to their skull, and to be that stout, it's neat that those pigs are still clean in their throat latch, just really unique in the look that they give you. I'd say Wilbur was really excited about this gilt, but this Barra does a lot of things that I think are so hard to do in today's times, just giving them that kind of presence, but yet keeping them stout, keeping them compact, and just putting that kind of bone in one's hard to do, especially when they move like that pig does. Man, I think this Cotton Appendale has been good. I think these pigs look like they've got really bright futures ahead of them to me.
In the ring now, we'd have True Genetics Consignments, and True's one of those firms that they don't slack at all when it comes to buying the type of females that provide plenty of success for their customers. They rear back and buy the ones they need to, and their continued success has allowed that to happen, and you can see that the payoff that that's provided. In the ring now, we have tag 19 and tag 20. Tag 19 would be the kind of the roan pig there. Tag 20 would be the dark cross that Ruger's on. The tag 19 would be an in-game white man, best man. Mom is one of the most intriguing sows they have there. She always has a high-level kind of show pigs, and we can see why when that pig enters. And then tag 20 would be a game time, never before. We don't even have to look, I don't think, JD, at the pig necessarily. The pedigree alone just screams quality, and then you lay their eyes on them. It makes sense why tag 20 looks the way he does.
Yeah, I think a pair that honestly both read with some feedability. Talk about this off-belted one and just the length that he's got out of his rump in an industry and in a time where that's not a very common thing. It's nice to see one that comes out here that's got some length out back and takes a good stride. A pig that's got the right kind of maturity and muscle pattern to really feed and work. And I think at the end of the day, we all want to sell them high, but we want to make pigs that look like that for people that they can take home, that'll stay true, stay good on their feet and legs, and get to the finish line. And that pig really reads to me like one that'll finish. Not to take anything away from this Calico in the ring, because honestly, between the pair, he's probably a little shorter bodied, a little broader when you get on top of him, and still yet a pig that possesses a good look from the side and got a big hind leg. These guys have been winning a lot. They've got a lot of good sows laid in their place. I think it's very evident to see the work they've put in building pigs when you drop a pair like this into the ring.
Stay on there. She's out of one of them 7 litters. Yeah.
in the ring now, we have another pair of True's consignments here. Tag 18 would be the gilt there on the far side. She'd be a game time trumpet, no moss, and their mother, this particular gilt's mother, would be one of those 7-litter sows there at John at Mollet's that came from Mollet. That those litter mates have done just an incredible job. And we can just go through here and list all kinds of successes they've had. But if you go back and you just look, this trumpet no moss sow again, the 7-litter sow is hit time and time again. I know Brock Heron's got one there at his house. I have one at mine, and they just continue to make show-winning type of pigs. The other one there in the ring would be Tag 17, it'd be a picture perfect trenches in game. Picture perfect would be the $130,000 boar that True would have sold the premium blend. Last fall that's continued to work and raise very competitive types of show pigs. Mom is a high dollar gilt they bought from Heimer. Very good pair in the ring now. I'll tell you, Tag 18 gets me real excited about bidding tomorrow, JD.
Yeah, I don't know what Brian and Ryan have got going on that's more important than being here, but if I was going to sell me a gilt that looked like that, I'd want to be here to watch people throw their hands in the air. I think that thing's just got an incredible amount of quality from a show gilt perspective, but man, what she could do for you in a sow pen long term, that's the kind you could build some stuff around. Her pedigree speaks volumes to her quality, but then as you look at her walking around out here, it's fun to see that it matches what you read on paper. This white-tailed pig is one that looks like he's going to work to me. I think just his height, his shoulder is awesome. He's got a neat look ahead of his blade. To be as tall-shouldered as he is, I think it's cool that pig's still wide-chested. He's got the right kind of length of body. You get him behind him, he's as square as any as we've seen come through the ring, and yet still from the side, he takes a long step. I think a really good pair here. True did a good job sending pigs south for this sale.
Coming in now is Allbright Swine Farm and Dougie Fresh and crew. He's got the brightest purple shorts on today. Looks real good there in those. He's going to even come out and show tag 30 there. The pig that Doug would be on would be a Trick Daddy, safe word, never before. Sow is a litter mate to the 4th overall at Nail in 23. Then we'd have tag 62. That would be the Berkshire male there. That'd be a New Balance monster. New Balance is a special effects son that they raised, and the sow is a crossbred looking as they come, he says. I can see that in that particular pig. And then we'd also have tag 61 be the Berkshire female, off the chain, bulletproof. Again, mom is full sibbed special effects mother and raised the Reserve Burke at Michigan Livestock Expo and class winner at NJSS.
I was fortunate enough to get to go up to Doug's the other day and look at pigs for an online sale. And while I was there, we kind of got to pick out and look at what some of his smoked pigs were, and probably cost the home team at Show Pig a little bit of money because when we were sorting through these things, I kind of helped him pick out what I thought were the special ones for smoke. And boy, it's awesome to see that they took the trip good. This belted male that Doug's driving is a 209 litter, and that litter was awesome to look at there at the house, and got to see mama of those pigs as well while I was there. And there's a reason that pig looks as good as he does. He was out of a great litter, got a great mom. A pig that just looks like he's going to feed to me. There's nothing too out of bounds with him, yet still he's got some extras when you get on top of him. I think a pig that just doesn't look like he's got a lot of mess up in him, but yet a very, very high ceiling. I know this Berkshire gilt, this tag 61 here, is one that when she came out in the preview pen there at the house, man, I was captivated by that one's look and just the feedability that she's got. It's hard to make Berkshires that have that little crest, that little throat, but are yet still stout and broad, and I think that one just looks like the kind that is a big mature one in March. going to be awfully hard to get around. First year consigner here. I know Doug wanted to bring stuff that he thought would make him famous in Oklahoma. He pulled back the best ones he had, and I'm glad to see again that they took the trip good. I know this Berkshire male is one that has got a lot of faith in. Got to see that New Balance boar he's out of, and that thing's stout and broad. This is the kind of pig I'd want to feed out of that boar. I think 3 very good ones here to start off the Allbright.
In next is Dieter Ding, the Dieter King, a guy that, continues to hit time and time again. In the ring now, we would have tag, I believe, tag 59 and tag 79. They'd be a pair of litter mates. They'd be a pair of litter mates, be game time, tricked out. South be the Corbin Cool gilt from last year that would have won the Kentucky State Fair and Nail, also reserve division at KC and Expo. He's been bragging about these pigs for some time, and I can see why.
Yeah, when Kevin got to reactivate his Snapchat, these are the kind of pigs he wanted to highlight on there and show to you. You get these things out here. The 22s were good. That's been a good litter he's got to sell on, but there was never a chance that either of these weren't going to show up at Holy Smoke and let the general public see them. Study in on them. You pick the one that you like. I've probably got my own favorite, but I think pigs that are a little contrasting maybe in the way that they're put together, but I think the constant that remains is these pigs have got quality and they've got some feedability to them.
Another pair of Dieter Ding consignments. Tag 60 there would be the female that Dieter Ding is offering here. She'd be a breathtaker, rusty cage. Mom is Chubb's litter mate and raised the boar then some. And then a class-winning gilt at OYE in 2022, and then another sale maker at OYE in 24. A neat kind of female that Dieter Ding brings out of a boar that has obviously been very popular and for good reason. And then tag 80 would be the one that Chloe's on there. That's a game time hush money. Mom would have raised the champion light gilt at Coba in 22 and raised Blowing Smoke in her first litter and raised another boar there at Platts. They sold for $40,000 last month. Very, very interesting pig there we have in tag 80.
So just for a little clarity there, tag 80 would be out of Blowing Smoke's grandma. The sow there would be. Got to see that pig at the house, and it's a shame that he's only got one in the chamber because that thing's got some insane breeding value. But the neat thing for someone here is they're going to get that one fixed and get to show him, because I think if he had 2 where they're supposed to be, there's no doubt that would be a herd boar. Just studying on the shape to his skull and how wide he is and his blade, he's really good chested, and everything's square up front to being as wide and stout as he is. I'm not going to say he's conservative when you get in behind him, but I think he's got the right kind of width to win big. That's a true power hog that doesn't get too out of bounds for me. He's as big up high as any pig that we've got to see. He's got the length of body it takes to be a champion. Boy, I think that pig's got an incredibly high ceiling. Certainly one of the highlights that we got to see. This gilt, studying on what he's done in the gilt ring, that's the kind that feed from him most of the time. She's here for a reason. Really good pair the King sent.
G&S is going to come in next, and another firm that's just so easy to brag on. JD, they're the guys that hammer back when it's time to buy the kind of female that will move you and take you in directions, and their success has been proven by the investments that they've made on the females they have. Just a program I really enjoy watching, and I always enjoy it when they come to this sale because they bring pigs of what I would just consider the highest quality. Tag 52 comes in here and catches, I would think, everybody's attention there ringside. He'd be a left behind Lighthouse. Grandma is a $30,000 purchase there from Lackey that raised Weston's Reserve Lightweight Cross there at Houston. I think a pig that's real intriguing. I don't think we have to just talk too much. I think that pig does the majority of it for himself. And then we have tag 51. That'd be a wide awake, quite frankly. Gilt litter here. Dam won 15 times in Louisiana last winter. Talk about a pedigree that is very intriguing. I don't know how many times we see, quite frankly, on the bottom side of pedigrees that are winning, big shows. I think a very good pair G&S brings here. I like this pair of them.
Yeah, I think as you study in on the pedigree even further on the 51, I know the grandma there is their solo sow that is kind of the backbone of their program. So all the good stuff from G&S lays in this pig's pedigree. It makes sense why he looks the way that he does. Just a modern day looking show bearer in terms of elevation, look, squareness of hip. I think one that's just going to be incredibly good by the time he reaches maturity. That one looks like he'll be his best when it matters, and I think that's something to certainly focus on. The other pig in the ring that Ruger's driving, that thing's obviously a little immature in terms of his muscle and maybe isn't just as blown up and inflated as some of the pig sale pigs we're going to see here. But in terms of a Calcutta buyer, I'd say G&S would be a good buy. This one looks like he's going to be really good about the 14th day of March.
Another pair of them here from G&S. We would have tag 53 and tag 54. Chloe would be on tag 54, and then we got tag 53 there on the far side. Tag 53 would be a picture perfect, no comparison. Dam won her class there at Ohio State Fair. Grandma is a mate to the Grand Overall Barra at Ohio State Fair in 2020 and raised Lighthouse that stood at Lackey and Moyers. And then tag 54 would be a Trick Daddy, next contestant. Tag 54 there again that Chloe's on would be a mate to their leadoff at Kings last weekend, purchased by Crossroads. Dam also raised the Inman Barra that they sold this last spring here at Smokes that we got to see. That was very intriguing, an interesting type of pig that was fun to watch all summer. Another good pair of them that G&S brings.
Yeah, I think as you study in on this pair, it doesn't really require a big sales pitch. I mean, this white-tailed one comes out here, and that thing just looks like a show pig. He's arrogant in the presence he gives you. He's got the right kind of lines. Just study how high-headed he is. Study how level he is out of his rump. That one just looks like he's built for the backdrop. I think a lot of really good things there. And this other pig, the tag 53 that Nora's driving, looks a lot like some of those others that we've talked about. That's just got the right kind of presence to him, got some stoutness in between his ears. Obviously, just a little greener up high than his contemporary in the ring. But it's still, I think, a stout feature one that bends his hind leg good, that's got the right kind of length of body. Looks like the feeding kind, something to focus in on here for sure.
Danner Livestock comes in next with a pair of reds, tag 45 and tag 46. Ruger would be here on tag 45. Dax would be on tag 46. Tag 45 would be a lunch pail motivation 4.0. Mama here on that particular pig was reserved at Kansas City in 2023 and is the mother of Rodibaugh's 5th overall Duroc Barra at Indiana State Fair. And then tag 50 or 46 would be Sniper up the limit 4.0. Danner's one of these guys that's obviously been on a hot streak here. Raising pigs. Would have raised the grand there at Houston last year. I believe just raised the grand at AYE. Is that correct, JD? Just like I said, been on an absolute tear. A guy that, I got to go there this summer. So much fun getting to go and see their stuff. True hog breeders. I think we got a good group of them that are going to come here from Danner.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he raised the champion, either the champion or reserve Duroc Bear a time or two ago at OYE, and I'd say he brought this pair to try to have him a little success again like that this time. Drop these reds out, and I know we haven't got to see a lot of red pigs so far this evening, but man, these are good, and it won't matter what sale you were setting at, whose house you were setting at. It's going to be hard to find red bears that are this elite in the way that they're put together. I think that tag 45 comes out here, and he just looks like a champion. The thing's got a great head and a good chest, and for me, the coolest thing about this pig is he's stout for this breed, but yet his muscle still reads immature enough to think that he'll last and be good at the end. That's the kind of red pig that works. Got the right kind of body composition, the right length of body, the right shape to his skull. Really like that thing's toe quality when he drives right at you. Boy, I think that's a very special kind of prospect there. And not to take anything away from the other one in the ring, because if he wasn't having to follow around by this other one, man, I think you could fall in love with that one as well. He's even maybe just a little sharper looking. If that's the kind you like to feed, I'd say, hey, you can probably land on that one and you'll still be fine by the time March gets here. I think an awesome pair. You try to buy and feed the one you like. I think both of these are built for success long term.
Chloe comes in here with the spot pig that would be tag 41. That'd be a Whisper double time. Mama was champion at Indiana in 21, and this pig is a full sib to Doorsbear that won a pile this past summer. And then we would have the Calico pig in the ring now. I believe, what's the tag number on that pig? That'd be tag 42, would be a Danner 211, turning tricks. Sire would be a mate to the Grand Bear at Houston in 24. Mama is a second parity, Canal Sow with first crop about to show. I think this spotted one, take nothing away from the Calico, very intriguing pig. This spot comes in and he kind of knocks me back, JD.
Biscuit, this must be your first pig sale if you ran these in the ring at the same time, because if you want anyone to look at this red belt, I would have not put him in the pen with this spot, because that thing's hard to take your eyes off of. Man, that thing looks like it could be a boar to me. Looks like a winning show bearer. It is so hard to make spots that come at you that good in their chest but have absolutely no deviation in the way that their front toes hit the surface. Man, that's hard to do, especially when you add in the fact that this pig's a monster up high. He's got a huge hind leg when he leaves you and a big square hip. I'd say that thing's got as much breeding value for that breed and as much uniqueness as anything we're going to get to see through the ring today. I personally hope he gets cut, because I'd love to see that thing in a show ring for you someday. But if he ends up going the other route, man, I think that thing can breed some of my sows. We talk a lot about this spot. This thing looks awesome, but this red belt's here for a reason as well. I know that sow line is good there for Danner. You study in on this pig. He takes a real comfortable step out back. He's got a really unique presence and the kind of height the shoulder extension ahead of his blade, shape up high we're going to have for the city. Real good pair here to study on that Biscuit brought you.
We have another trio of them that come from Danner. Again, we have a spotted pig here in the ring. It'd be tag 47, be a snapback. DW Lampoon. Sire is the snapback pig they brought from Brock. that is mate to the gilt at Wins Expo and the Bear Show there at Louisville. I think a very interesting spot pig. He obviously loaded up the heat when it comes to them. And then Chloe would be on tag 43. That'd be a safety first. Next intention. Dan would be from Corb and was reserve D5 at Southeast Regional and a mate to Lancaster's Bear at Louisville in 23 that Biscuit was very proud of. And then tag 44 would be the white male Yorkshire classifying pig in the ring now. Would be a Slim Shady tricked out. Rookie sire crop from Slim Shady, and they're all types of pumped up about them. Mom is from Rodibaugh and is an absolute standout visually. I've been excited, JD, to see some of these Slim Shadies. The ones I've seen have been honestly just off the charts good. You know, that would, you know, Boar was, you know, on Facebook there for a while and getting to see his picture. This is kind of what I envisioned here in tag 44. I think a very good trio, again, that Biscuit brings.
Yeah, I know the Slim Shady deal is good, and we tried real hard to buy that thing and get him castrated there last year, and unfortunately Biscuit was just a little more trigger happy than I was when it came time to buy him, but I'm glad that he did. I'm glad that pig stayed intact. Because if he can continue to make them that look like this, he's going to make this breed better. And we all know that sometimes we show up to the big show and the all-white breed doesn't have the quality that it needs to have. Looks like that boar is going to do a good job of trying to get some of those things fixed. The spot pig here obviously comes here and just gives you a unique kind of a presence. You get on top of that one, and his back's as butterfly-shaped as anything that we've got to see. Got a unique look ahead of his blade there. And then the belted pig that's in the ring is one that we had out there earlier in the back. And this pig, I think, suits the judge well. We're going to get to show two in March. That pig honestly should fit every show judge. To have that kind of look, that kind of shape to his body cavity, that kind of hind leg design, that one's tried and true. He's tested. That's the kind that's worked for a long time and always will. I think a really good set here that ought to help Biscuit get that wedding paid for.
Coming in the ring now would be Heron Genetics Consignments, and another one that always intriguing what he brings, because they're you know, gonna be one there in the end. Just whenever I first got here and started you know, walking through the pens, tag 82 honestly just lit me up. The crossbred gilt there on the far side, she'd be a surrounded all mine rusty. The surroundeds, Brock says here, have been real good. They lost him too early. On the footnote, whenever I went back there to look and kind of figure out what her pedigree was, it just said right there below, win early and win late. I couldn't agree more. I love this thing. And then the Duroc male we have in the ring now would be tag 81, be a rock main character. This is a full sib to a littermate that has dominated in Texas this summer. His mom is the mother of ATM, also a boar there at Brock's that he's very proud of. Very good pair. Absolutely love this gilt.
I'm going to talk about this red Barra first, because on my last tour through Brock's place, man, I haven't ever been hit that hard. Brock had a big crowd there that day when I was looking at him, so I kind of had to text him my thoughts, what I thought about this one, and they're probably not fit for a microphone, so I'll leave those out. But, man, this pig gets me excited to have that kind of look for this breed is so hard to do. He's so good in his chest, and to have that kind of compact length to his spine, that pig's still long enough out of his rump. He's plenty long from the blade forward. I'd rather show that one than show against him. I hope if we can't get him bought, somebody wants to leave him a boar, because that one looks really hard to beat from where I'm sitting. This gilt's frail and skinny. No one's going to like her, so we don't have to talk much about her. I think a real good pair, bub. Proud of you.
In the ring now would be the pair of Chester males that Brock brings. They'd be Friction, Box Office. Mom raised the reserve at Houston this year. My opening comments, we're just talking about this particular sale. My favorite part is that it's honestly a pre-show of what's to come in March. I think we have an awesome pair of Chesters in the ring now. Look like limo getters to me. I think a really good pair of Chester males.
Yeah, this is another litter that honestly has always been good. Got to see him in the nursery, got to see him in the chip barn at the house, and then they come to the sale and they still look good. I don't know that this litter of pigs has honestly ever had a very bad day. They're the kind of pigs that are going to win in the end. If you remember, the Chester Brock sold here last year went on to be champion at OYE, and honestly, these probably come with less question marks than those did, even as a baby. I'd say proof is in the pudding here. An amazing sow line, got a good bore on the top, and a pair of pigs that complement each other well. You get the kind you want to take home and feed, and I'd say if you do your job, you've got an opportunity to have a real happy kid in March.
In the ring now would be the Rodibaugh and Sons consignments, and another group of them that had just been on fire of lately. They bring a Duroc gilt there that Ruger would be on, be tagged 14, be a King Boss, stay in your lane. Grand Dam is the foundation sow, and Grand Dam of third overall red gilt at Ohio State Fair in 23. I think anytime you can dip into foundation sow and from Rodibaugh, I think it's a really, really good opportunity. The Yorkshire male there would be tagged 13, be a Clickett, King of Queens, dam raised champion York at Colorado State Fair in 24. Their notes there is just good pig, couldn't agree more. And then the belted male there would be tagged 15, be a Trick Daddy, next to nothing. Young sow that throws them stout. They have all kinds of confidence. This pig here will feed. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, this crew's not going to load up pigs they don't have faith in. And I think that's the important thing to note here is that the mamas behind these, they've got a lot of confidence in. And when you're buying show pigs, the smart things to do is to buy them out of proven sows, buy them out of foundation sows at people's places that continue to make winners. Study in on the pedigrees here. I know there's a lot of confidence that these guys have. And you can study in on the pigs here. This belt is obviously one that's a little green yet about his body shape, but I don't know if we've seen one come out that has that kind of presence, that kind of just length ahead of his blade. I'd tell you that one's as long from his shoulder blades forward as anything that we've got to see. And yet study him at the ground, he's still got a big hind leg, got the appropriate kind of width. I think that's a good feeding pig that if he's not he's a little under the money. I know we got kids that love to feed that one. I think he would work incredibly well long term. Love this white one for his stoutness. We've got a lot of good whites here today, but I tell you, he jumps right in the mix. That one's got as fat of a tail root and as big of a tail there laid on the top side of his hip as any of them we've seen. He's got a great big hind leg and big rear foot. White ones are good at the pig sale, but that one certainly doesn't work his way very far down the list. Red gilt here, I know, had some heads turning when she ran out. I know that's an incredible litter of pigs this time. She's got the right kind of maturity pattern to be there when it matters. bring in this Duroc gilt to Tanner's, and on paper, understatement, main character just sounds like a winner. Studying on the pig, I mean, you could write a million things about this one, but looking at her in person is going to do a lot more. This one looks like a winner. Those guys have been on fire in this breed. This pig looks pretty special to me.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, JD. You know, Winter Livestock is another one of those places I always enjoy going. You're guaranteed to learn something, and this female steps in and understand that, you know, the decisions that Tanner's made at his farm. This is obviously you know, what he's gearing for. I think we have a Duroc female that has the type of phenotype to kill. Absolutely love her build and balance there from the side. She's awesome whenever she comes right at us. She gives us the same view when she leaves. I think a really good type of red female that's just a little bit bigger, where maybe some of the guesswork's out of it. Tag 65 here from Winter Livestock.
They go in an order. Yeah. We got Winter Livestock in the ring once again for the next pair of their consignments. We got lots 16 and 55, both light crosses, white, hot, albino. I love the comments here. They said to check out the pigs and come up with some comments, and that's pretty easy in this particular case. I saw these come off the trailer a minute ago, and honestly, making these solid white ones is really, really difficult, and these guys are as good as anybody at it, and they consistently make lots of numbers, and I'm definitely jealous of all those things. When they get out here and move around, it's pretty obvious that they're going to find their way to the backdrop here. That kind of length of body, athleticism, and look doesn't come together all the time.
Yeah, Brock and I get warmed up here within Winter Livestock consignment, and I think we got a good pair to start here. This tag 16 that Chloe's on, he comes in and he demands your attention. Man, is that thing stout from his brim back. He's big-chested and very, very mobile. I'm not going to change the fact that this one that Nora's on, man, is that thing just exotic from the side, and he's extremely neat ahead of his blade. He's got a hard-backed one that's extra long out back. This pig really gets me fired up. A good pair here from Winter for Brock and I to start on within talking these consignments.
We're going to bring JD Show Pigs in next. Lots 144 and 145 littermate spot males. Upcharge DW back on Crystal. The mother of these is a sow that they call Scarlet. Really incredible type of show gilt that made a splash all over the place. And really one of the key things here, their grandma is the Crystal sow, formerly one of the record sellers in that particular breed that's really made a splash. Love Tap's mom, Mattress Pad's mom. She's done a lot of things. And really the important thing there, those hogs feed and work out time after time. JD, he's a bit of a CPS breeder these days. And when you drop in these, it's pretty easy to see why.
Yeah, all the kind words from Brock, not to mention he probably still gets a pay stub from these. This louder marked one's a wild neck, short bodied, great built one from the side. Your guy in March, I'm pretty sure he's going to talk about height to length ratio and proportions. This pig fits that to the nines. This tag 144, I was blowing JD some crap in the back. That this one might just be my preference amongst a pair. Poland or Spot, you choose, because I think that this one's an absolute dominant wrecking force when you decide to cut the nuts out of him and drop him in the show ring, because this thing's look ahead of his blade, his levelness from his shoulder to his 10th is absolutely undeniable within this breed. And then then he's square underneath and mobile. A very interesting pair that I think have a very, very high upside and one that you could probably decide which way you really want to run them within the Poland or Spotted division.
Tag 144 and 145 from JD. Upcharge DW back on Crystal. Yeah. Halfin Show Pigs is going to come in next. Tag 56, 57, and 58. All three aren't coming in here. We've got 57 and 56. 56, the Dark Cross male pig there. Trick Daddy, no intro. I was really excited to see this pig out here in the ring. The mother of this pig is one that I really remember from a few years ago. The Morris family showed her. Obviously, she's a no intro. She was grand multiple times and went on to her grandma actually was the grand at EYO in 21. And that 56 is what we're talking about there. He's a Trick Daddy, no intro. His mother is incredibly impressive, and I'm not surprised one of her pigs found her way here to the Holy Smoke Pig Sale. That one's just signature Halfin relative to stoutness, look, and mobility. But he always has those hogs just dialed in terms of length of body. That's a really interesting one from my perspective. And then lot 57 there is also a Trick Daddy. His mom is a hero, never before. They purchased that gilt at the Tulsa State Fair a few years ago, and really similar to the other, but one that brings lots of look ahead of his shoulder and just incredible stoutness along with mobility from Halfin.
You know, when Halfin drops in here, I just admire his livestock, and that's just because his ability to have livestock at baby pig sales that are big enough to know what you're going to buy is pretty evident, and he does it time in and time out. This pair drop in, and I think it's so interesting if we take a poll around ringside because with how much higher quality they are just in general, I don't know if there's necessarily needs to be a preference. This 56, I don't know if I could describe him any better than what Brock did in terms of being a broad-built, loose-built one that really identifies as his pedigree. That pedigree and how that pig looks just makes sense to me, and how he should progress and feed, I think, could be to the highest degree. This 57 from the side, man, that thing's got a tough noggin. He's got a great big arm and a round rib cage. More importantly, he's really square and edged up high, and he's got a very neat rear view when you step in behind the livestock. A very good pair here from Halfin that bring the extras, not only in terms of width, dimension, but they're got the right size where you know what you're buying here. Don't let them pass up on an opportunity here.
The last lot from Halfin's going to come in, lot 58. He's an OG special effect Van Halen. The mother is the Grand Pure Gilt at OYE in 22. Really love the creativity here. He's trying to go all out, whether really however you want to show this project. He's one that's incredibly striking in terms of his look. And I think if this hog ends up as a Berkshire, which I don't know why you wouldn't, that look from his shoulder forward and that kind of exotic build would definitely make him stand apart from the rest.
I know we're going to get the opportunity to see a lot of Berkshire Mark pigs, but man, Brock, is this thing good? He comes in, and his look, his build, his presence, honestly, within a jackpot setting in a small ring, it wouldn't shock me if this one doesn't beat all of them. It's hard to make livestock look like this, especially when you give them the opportunity to be presented within a Berkshire formation. This one's to the nines. Man, oh man, is he good.
We're going to bring in lot 133 from Day Family Show Pigs next. Light cross male. He's a surrounded wham on No Moss's sister. This hog's mother. This hog's mother. Actually, they're going to be bringing in both of these. Excuse me. Both from Day Family Show Pigs. The dark cross there is a wide awake daylight in game. That hog is a mate to. Their 20K lead off at Kings last weekend. His dam is also a littermate to Modern Day in the reserve granted 4th overall gilts in 2023. That's lot 132, the Dark Cross, and then 133. His dam was an OIE purchase they made a few years ago from Miss Poland. She raised the reserve Grand Bear at the Oklahoma State Fair last month. Really high quality pair here, 132 and 133 from Day.
Yeah, it just keeps on dropping dimes over here in our corner, and then you drop them in here, and this white one, man, is he broad and dense and got the great extension. More importantly, he's got the day look from the side that's so prevalent in the big ring. For most of you that have been around ringside, I would say you've had a chance, an opportunity to feed pigs from Day. There's not a better place in terms of taking them home, putting them on feed, and getting them to the pig show. This belted one, man, he gives me the warm and fuzzies. The hair standing up on my arms at the moment, to be frank with you. And I'd say this is where a lot of the dimes came into fashion. This thing's stout, broad, he's loose, and he's comfortable. More importantly, everybody out back, when we were talking about this pig earlier, said how good this litter of pigs was. And I don't care what anybody says, when you can get good livestock out of deep litters, it leads to success. Whether you're cutting them for barrows, leaving them intact, or growing a sow herd, it's so important to go ahead and bet on litters of pigs with quality like this. This individual is just outstanding, in my opinion. Coming from one of the tougher critics around ringside, he's very, very good.
We're going to bring Miller Time Genetics in, lot 124 and 125. All the consignments from Miller Time are littermates. They're ruthless, tricked out. The mother of these is one of their special females. She's a tricked out, dirty, loving, cruel. That line, if you saw their Facebook post, has been really successful for them. And this is one of those times I feel like you can kind of drop the paper and just look inside of the show ring and see what you can find.
Within a pedigree perspective, if you don't know what ruthless is, simply put, you're just not following along to the show pig industry. I was told there was only 20 or 25 litters, and man, has this pig created quite the stir. This was one pin I specifically looked up here in the back because their ability to just demand your attention out of that ruthless boar is to the highest degree. This belted one drops in, the big full belt. Man, does he look like a premier show pig should. How he ties out of the front side of his body. He's big chested, he's round ribbed, and he's really loose and comfortable out back. Man, those are very admirable traits within this guy's opinion. This thin belt, I know he's given Chloe a shot more fits here on the stick, but don't let that hold you back here because this thing's look, his build, his presence, his height to length ratio, and his balance are to the highest degree. This one's definitely a barn favorite within my opinion. Tag 124 and tag 125 from Miller Time.
The next pair from Miller Time are going to come in here, 122 and 123. Once again, ruthless, tricked out. This is one of those litters we've heard about for a while, and I think they've really fulfilled all my kind of suspicions that I had on them as they come to the pig sale here. From start to finish, so much consistency, stoutness, the right length of body, their muscles in check. They're really square off either end, and I really feel like you could sit in here tomorrow and be confident in buying some of these. There's just so much consistency, both genetically and as you look at them visually.
Brock, I feel like we're at a calf sale and looking at flush mates, but it probably took 60 cows to make for a progeny that look like this. In my opinion, not necessarily my area of expertise here, but a quadrant of set of barrows or boar options that are very, very interesting. We had a pair of workhorses there just previously. This pair look like within the barrow ring to me, they could be the utmost quality. This broken belt, man, is he stout and creased up from his feet up. extremely big feet and stout bones, a very, very stout skull. This wider belted one probably looks like he's the most comfortable one within the litter, and I appreciate that about him. Loose, comfy, square, and wide underneath. He's got the great big feet and the loose bones. Admirable traits for the people that know what ractopamine is in show barrows.
122 and 123 for Miller time. We got tag 23 in the ring now from Hammock Show Pigs. This is a Ricky Bobby Genesis. This is one they've been excited about for a long time, and another one that classes York, and I think is a standout in that particular division. That hog's stoutness of skull and just dimension is really impressive, but I think one thing he does so well, especially within that breed, is the squareness, the length out of his hip, and the squareness to his hind leg, I think makes him a standout and a difference maker there. To me, these guys have really been successful in this white thing. The M&M deal has been good for them, and I think the Ricky Bobby thing is just getting started here. Tag 23 from Hammock.
This pedigree just makes so much sense to me on paper. Ricky Bobby on Eminem's mom, like Brock said, this is one of them in the back that sure jumped through the loops, and I thought, man, is this thing stout and broad. I love how his ears set on his body. Everything about that pig just reads stout and mobile and comfortable, not to mention he's perfect in terms of his edge and the shape of his body. Like Brock said, it's hard to get white ones that are that long-hipped and that comfortable out back. Hammock's brought you one. Study up here.
The remainder of the group from Hammock is going to come in next. Tag 24 and 25. 24 is an OG special effect. That'd be the one in the center part of the ring. This one closest to me is tag 25. So 24, OG special effect. The grandma is a mate to the reserve Burke at OIE in 2022 and the champion Burke at Coba in that same year. Tag 25, OG top it off. The grandma is a litter mate to the champion Burke and OIE in 2022. And sorry for the wait. So neat pedigree on each. Tag 24, 25, OG on the top of each.
Probably my favorite thing about coming to the Holy Smoke Pig Sale is just the ability for pig breeders to bring pigs that they like and they know that are going to feed. Just based off of what Brock said, the Hammock wrote on the paper, this pedigree is to the nines. You drop this pair in here, and man, do they not only follow in terms of quality, their look, their build, and their presence is very, very good in my opinion. I like that we got a little bit difference in terms of type and kind. This one to the right, I think his extra mobility and length off both ends of his skeleton can make him a standout within the Berkshire division, but yet I'm so drawn to this one to my left here that's extra stout and broad. I think his tag number's 25. That thing's a short-bodied, elevated one that's creased up high, very good looking and big pinned. A pair that are alternating in terms of their type and kind, but so complementary when you prop them up from the side. I'll go. Squires Genetics here. Drop a trio in. This light cross is a Husky Breaking Bad. Husky's an easy son. And Maverick says, love this first litter Breaking Bad sow. Always been a standout and special one for the light division within this light male pig. Tag 109's the dark cross female would be a mate to this impressive white one. And then tag 110 from Squires Genetics would be a Duroc male. He's a front line. Scuba Steve, the same sow line, has bronze red bear at OYE at 24. He just reminds us so much of this Barra, and he's really liked our front lines partner sow with Alex Yost.
Well, Maverick always brings the goods here, and company, I should say, Squires Genetics. They always bring the goods here to the pig sale. 108 and 109, the two crossbreds, mates, as he mentioned. And when I saw that Husky boar last year, I was really interested in to see pigs out of that boar. These hogs really resemble him in terms of length of body and moderation. Really opened up and square built off either end of their skeleton, but still really have a kind of a husky kind of look to them, as the name would suggest on the top side of things. And their Duroc there, he's got the right maturity pattern. His feet and legs are absolutely flawless. Really has a good look to him. To me, that hog's really right relative to just where his muscle is, where his width is, his length of stride off either end of his body. It really reads right to me. A really nice set of consignments here from Squires.
Yeah, not to mention this crossbred gilt. She looks like a real good Division I gilt that can maybe stretch into the summer. Last time I checked, there's been so much retail value at OYE for those Division I gilts, bringing an extra premium. A good trio here from Squires Livestock. Tag 108, the light-colored male, 109, the dark cross gilt, and tag 110, the Duroc male pig.
We're going to bring Coulson show pigs in next. This tag 88 and 89. And like I said, we're going to bring everybody in. 89, 88, and 90. 88 is the center of the ring right there. That hog's a Stinger Cruel. Mom's a gilt that was granted at Lincoln County last spring. The sow made the reserve grant at Nebraska State Fair for Langmeyer and the reserve grant at Exarban for Hannah. So lots of sow power on the bottom of tag 88. 89, Money Moves, Next Intention. One of their favorite Money Moves pigs from the entire fall crop. The mom here had the grant at the West Coast National and Champion Hamp at CYE. Really another impressive sow on the bottom side of 89. Then 90, Leap Lap. Tricked Out. Mama's grand at Oklahoma County for Clater. The grandma was Addie Thompson's gilt we bought at OYE from Trace. So lots of proven genetics on both sides here. And this is one of those sales, if you look up on the wall there, Coulson, they've got as many up there really as anybody, and they do it time after time. It's basically on repeat. And this is one of those things, every time Coulson brings some show projects here to the Holy Smoke Pig Sale, you definitely need to pay attention.
My favorite part about my good pal Evan is he realizes livestock of quality come in different shapes and sizes, and I love that not all this trio don't always look alike in terms of their type and kind. This is tag 89. Man, does he identify as his pedigree in terms of being heavy bone, loose built, extremely comfortable. He's got a great stoutness to his skull, and I appreciate that about him. Tag 90 that Chloe's on, man, is that thing just got a classy look from the sign. I mean, he's drop dead sexy from the sign in terms of his sign design, his build, and his balance. He's square chested and real big pinned. And then this lead off, tag 88. I got the opportunity to see this pig at 4 a.m. About 10 days ago. I was surprised I could get Evan out of bed, honestly. But when we did, man, was this one worth a trip to Warwick, Oklahoma? So neat in terms of one that is so hairy and dense. He's got the great jawbone and look ahead of his blade. The big pin set that it takes to win at the largest level. This tag 88 is surreal in terms of quality. A good trio here from Coulson Show Pigs.
Absolutely. 88, 89, and 90. Those hogs bring a lot of goods to the table. You might check them out in the back. We've got lots 26 and 27 from Loudermilk coming in here. 26 there is a 41-liter spot male pig. High Noon, Loudmouth, Detox. The sow here knocked it out of the park. Full sib here to the champion gilt at Fort Worth and the reserve at Dixie in 2018. Lots of things here going on with this particular gilt in terms of pedigree. The mother made the 5th out spot bear at OYE last year. They also produced a gilt that Pruit had. It was 4th overall at Indy as well. Really nice hog there in lot 26. Lot 27 is in the ring also. Spot male, alarm, smoke rings. The mom here is is Regan Pruitt's 4th overall, made the Regan Pruitt's 4th overall spot bearer at Team Purebred last year. The grandma is the mother of some really successful ones in 2021, tagged 26 and 27 from Loudermilk.
This Louder Mark one comes into the ring, and just his look and his build and his comfortability, I think is very, very good. And then you let him just prop up from the side. He's tall-shouldered, extremely, extremely attractive, like I hinted at earlier. More importantly, he's good out of the backside of his shoulder. He's extremely square and comfortable on both ends of his skeleton. Tag 26 might be a spot on paper. He might be Poland in the ring. This thing's roundness to his cage, his look ahead of his blade, his ability to be a big pin, square moving one is so good for this breed. And his lower joints, in terms of how they meet the surface, are square and true when they meet the sawdust. I find that so unique within the spotted division. Like I said, you decide Poland appearing or spotted bearer. I think he's a workhorse and can handle a lot of competition. Tag 26 and 27 from Loudermilk, definitely dressed to impress.
We're going to bring in the last pair from Loudermilk. We got 28, which is the spot male pig there. Remain silent. Hollywood Boulevard. Tag 28 again. Remain silent. Hollywood Boulevard, I should say. Mom here has produced all kinds of things in Texas and Oklahoma in the last few years. The mom was 3rd overall D1 at Indy in the junior show. Then tag 29 from Loudermilk is the light cross there. Lead the way, roll call, Karma. The mom was the 3rd overall cross gilt at Indy in 2020, and she made the 4th overall Division I at Expo not long ago. Lead the way should be a 2nd litter sow, and is just getting started. So tag 29 and 28. 29 will be the light cross. 28 is the spot here from Loudermilk.
I admire Loudermilk's spotted program just to their ability to be so good in terms of their elbow pocket and how their front foot meets the surface. This one does that to the highest degree. Then you just study the livestock from the side. He's extremely attractive and comfortable out back. A really, really neat-headed type of show bearer prospect that definitely has the goods from blade back. This blue one comes in the ring, and man, does he have big intangibles in terms of skull, his ability to be creased up out of the backside of his blade. That's a big pin, flag-tailed one that's square underneath. I honestly could see this one just going home and continuing to just keep getting better. This tag 29, I think when he fits in here, I'm a big fan of this one within a light cross division. Not only is he big enough to tell what you're buying, but he's got the extra look and presence and definitely the flag tail from the side that I think is so unique.
I could probably relate to these guys. Many people think that I typically only have Durocs, and honestly, when I think of Loudermilk, I really only really know that they raise spotted hogs. So I definitely wouldn't sleep on this crossbred. Typically, if we have a certain breed that's really good, it's easy to raise the others. And honestly, raising spots is as difficult as anything. So it's not surprising this blue one comes in here and has that kind of stoutness, look, and quality to him. We've got 34 and 37 in the ring now. This 34 is the calico one there on the far side. That is a tricked out 2 Young Love. The Young Love never before sow here won a whole bunch for the Pruitt family a few years ago, and also this sow made the leadoff bear they brought here not long ago to this particular pig sale. Then tag 37 is the belted one directly ahead of me. My Speed Temptation. This mother of that particular big pig was really successful in the summer of 23. The grandma is the king-sired female that Moyer and the Pruitt groups bought off the farm from Platt and Utterback for some change, I'm sure, not long ago. So we got 34 and 37 in the ring from Pruitt.
You know, sometimes I think I'm a walking dictionary for show pigs. And for those of you that didn't know, this My Speed deal, they feed to the highest degree. Last time I checked, I think he won 2 Midwest State Fairs, which I know isn't maybe as competitive in spots as what it is down in the southern country. But when you look at this tag 37, man, does that pig just not look like he's going to feed in terms of how his jawbone and his head shape, how he comes out of the top side of his blade with absolutely zero amount of crest. He's jet level, big boned, and really square and honest in his build. This Calico Barra, I was so fond of that pig that Inman had that was out here a year ago as a baby pig. And this thing, man, he comes in here, he demands your attention. And if you don't like this pig, then simply put, I don't know how much studying you're doing, because there's not a lot of problems within this one. He's awesome in terms of his character, ahead of his blade. He's big chested. He's great in terms of front foot strength and the shape out of the backside of his shoulder. More importantly, you step in behind the livestock, he's big, bold, and fresh, extremely stout. He's good haired, great headed, and good necked. That gets you a lot of places within the show bearer program, no matter what show you're at, whether it's OYE or the Texas Majors. If you can have them good looking, flat backed, and big bones, you're going to get pretty far, in my opinion.
You know, I really enjoy traveling around the country in the springtime and hauling some of my show pigs up to the Midwest. And one of the things that I enjoy most about that is seeing Biscuit run around and try to buy them. And he gets as aggressive as anybody. Biscuit here, how many phone calls would you make to get this pair bought of fields this spring?
Wait on him.
We're going to continue in the Pruit livestock consignments. Tag 35 and 36 is going to come in next. 35 is the dark cross male pig there. Tricked out number 3 on a never before sow, much like the other one. I guess it'd be the grandma of the tag 34 that came in ahead, the mother of tag 35 in this particular group. She was in the top 5 for the Ward family several times in 20. Tag 36 is the Chester Gilt Delta on Slushy. This gilt's mother was shown by the Strieber family and sired by Slushy. That was her $14,000 gilt, or a boar pig, I should say, here a few years ago that Frontline bought. The grandma there is a box office mother that won her class at San Angelo for the best family. So tag 35 and 36 from Pruit.
Yeah, I have no idea how Slushy got his name, but my guess is you should probably go try him. Definitely make the rest of the night just that much more interesting. This Chester Gill, she drops in here, and I can't quite figure her out just because she's just that much more different looking there from the side. And I really like that, I think, in terms of how she ties out the top side of her neck. She's level and comfortable. She's a bold ribbed, good swooped gill from the side, and extremely square out back. I would say this 35, if he probably didn't have one retained that was cut out the side, I could see Royston saying, Dad, we probably don't need to cut this pig just yet, because his ability to have just such a unique presence from the side, a real good shape, and a round rib cage is so good. He's dark skinned, he's good headed, so definitely admirable traits within this guy's opinion. Tag 35 in the Chester Gilt here from Pruit Livestock.
We have the Crone consignments coming in next, 38, 39, and 40. 38 and 39 would be litter mates. Canoe, Boogeyman. Canoe is the $80,000 Canouth boar that stands at upper hand. Boogeyman, I should say, is an anchor man on a famous Hilty sow from Logan Farms. That's tag 38 and 39. Then tag 40 is a Lead the Way, Say Your Prayers. Lead the Way is also a Canouth boar that stands at Premium Blend. It's a really good young sow. and then which is a Say Your Prayers is a Believe in Me back on a really good Hilty Visionary South. So tag 38, 39, and 40 from Crone.
Crone, his ability to just stay and keep his crossbreds without getting them messed up, I admire to the highest level. This canoe thing's so good, and if you haven't heard about it yet, you just simply wait and watch, because they're going to show up. They're going to pop up within the big ring. This pair of mates come in, and this 39 that Nora's on, he's so comfortable, and he's awesome in terms of his balance from the side. I won't lie to you, I'm a pretty big Snapchatter, and if for those of you that don't know that, you should add me and you can find out. This tag 38, man, I saw him on Snap a couple weeks ago, not even from Crone, but from one of his buddies around home. I tried buying him just absolutely immediately. They said, hey, we're saving this one back from Holy Smoke. Man, was I just so disappointed, because I would have loved to put him in my popper and went and got him, because I love his head. He's big chested, he's short bodied, he's extremely heavy bone, he's square out back. He's just simply put, he's a good pig, and the world needs more of those. And then this chromed up pig, a guy that I really respect in the back said when these went to the wash rack earlier, who's these and what tag number is that? And just simply put, because that one just flat good. His ability to come out of the top side of his shoulder with extra style and pizzazz is to the highest degree. More importantly, I love how his breastplate sits on his body and how his cage comes out of the backside of his shoulder. That's a round rib, square edged hug that's never not going to be attractive ahead of his blade. He's got the great big limbs out back, the feedable look. You know, there's always pigs within the sale offering that I think maybe become just a shot more undervalued because they don't have all the crazy hype behind them. Don't pass up on this tag 40. He looks like he could be a sale maker in his near future.
We're going to bring in CNC show pigs next. We got tags 6 and 7 coming into the ring. 6 would be their dark cross, wide awake, true colors. The mother of tag 6 is the mother of bases loaded at premium blend. He's already castrated and ready to go. He was a one nutter, and he's healed up, and they stand behind that 100%. Tag 6 from CNC, I should say, a wide awake. True colors. Once again, the mother of tag 6, their dark crossbred there, is the same sow that raises bases loaded at premium blend. And then tag 7, also from CNC, absolute, back on a white noise. The mother of this one is the mother of White Hot at Winter Livestock. We saw some pigs out of that particular boar not long ago. They were very impressive. She also raised the 5th overall York Bear at OYE last year. Tag 6 and 7 from CNC.
You know, I got the mic here, and we can take a minute to recognize good livestock. For starters, when Brock was walking over here, John Pfeiffer was standing there. He said, John, you're going to stay here and listen to me. With that, I think, Brock, it's time to pipe up here and give some side comments because this pair are demanding within their attention. I'll be frank with you, Slim's doing an awesome job over there. There's a boar pig going to be released by one of your Oklahoma fellas that gets me fired up. And the only problem he has is his ownership isn't in Chalmers, America. Trust me, I tried really, really hard one night, very, very late at night. This belted one comes in, and man, you know, you can tell that he was a crip and he's fixed. I could see this thing having a high level boar potential. More importantly, I don't know if you guys study up and look at who's sorting your show there in March. Man, does this thing look like that guy could tie into him. We just got done having a show season and showing to him. He's by far one of the easiest guys in the country to hit. Man, does he love him. Good looking, sharp backed, and awesome colored from the side. Man, does this thing fit the bill. This white one's stout, he's bold, and he's broad. CNC is notorious for making good white ones. This belt gets me on a different league.
Yeah, that's an incredible pair from CNC, tag 6 and tag 7. Those guys bring out stout, good-looking ones that are mobile time after time. Those fit the bill, and and I think it's neat how they have all those things, and they can show in different classes. So tag 6 and 7 from CNC, really an impressive group there. We're going to bring in My Family Show Pigs next. They've got 3 consignments here. Tags 66 and 68 are both 78-liter crossbred male show projects. Tag 66 is the light cross there. Blowing Smoke, Backdrop, Godfather. This is both tag 66 and 68. Once again, they're Blowing Smoke, Backdrop, Godfather. They're out of a 2-liter sow that's always made standouts for them. And these guys have always brought really nice ones here to the Holy Smoke Pig Sale, and I'm not surprised that pair of littermates made their way here. Tag 67 is another one from them. He's a dark cross, Game Time, Hush Money, Josie. The sow just had a 4th place in Dallas not long ago. This is a really impressive set. I thought their pictures on Facebook really struck me very, very positively. That blue one, I think, is an absolute standout relative to stoutness of feature, but also look from his shoulder forward. He really moves his hind leg in a neat way as you stand to the side of him. I think Biscuit's going to have a lot of fun things to say about this group. I think really in a striking set from my tag 66, 67, and 68.
You know this set's good when even JD bows up to the table to study a little extra harder here. This tag 67, man, is he comfortable? He's good built, and he's very, very square on both ends of his skeleton. You know, this pair of mates here, 66 and 68, they're really close to my heart because it goes back to some stuff that Kilmer raised and is doing such good work at my ranch. This pair of them, they come in here, man, do they not demand your attention? And if they don't, simply put, you're not in tune or even listening to us around ringside because this pair are flat out good and they're hard to replicate. This blue one, I challenge you to find very many better within the country in terms of being square, broad, dense, real neat looking, and yet still ride in terms of their proportions from the side. That thing's big and stout and fuzzy. That furry creature I like a bunch. This belted one, he's a very, very good pig. Tag 68.
That's 3 really nice show projects, all for my 67, 66, and 68.
I like it.
Tag 48 is in the ring now from Whittington, a spotted male pig. We're going to bring all the ones from Whittington, looks like, but tag 48 is a spot there. Titan DW noise complaint. Anytime Whittington brings a spot to town, it's definitely got my attention. He wins as much as anybody in that particular breed. The mother of this spotted hog here was supreme overall at the OBSC Coba show in 2022. Her littermate sister was reserve supreme. Really dominant sow line there in this particular hog. That's tag 48. And then we got... We got tag 49 as well. That's the dark cross there in the center part of the ring. Muddy line, Godfather in game. This is an incredible sow line. I've worked with that sow line some. The surrounded deal comes from that same sow line. That's tag 49 there. Then we got tag 50. That's the Berkshire on the far side. Top it off. Top shelf. Purebred, he says here. That's one of the main focuses here. But as you look at that pig, he would fit in regardless of his genetic line. The sow was 3rd overall in the Berkshire Gilt in OYE and 23 lined up pedigree here. Tag 48, 49, and 50 from Whittington.
I don't know any better people to just buy show pigs from than that Kendall Whittington. I bought one a couple weeks back, and man, has he only went home and gotten better. And I'm so fond of that. As a pig trader buying show pigs, this Berkshire jumps into the ring. Man, is he short-bodied and wild out front. Extremely just unique for this breed in terms of his look, build, and presence. This spot comes in, and it says... this pig's build and his balance and his presence from the side are to the highest degree. He's extremely comfortable. I mean, you can just look at him take off here and run. I like that about him. And I saw Kendall brushing on his belted pig. Man, he jumped him off the trailer earlier this morning, came out of the wash rack, and I said, man, that thing's black. Kendall's got this thing prepared and ready for success. I don't know if you know what that means from that guy, but that means he thinks he's to the highest degree. That means that I think he's got the best potential to feed in terms of just ability, have a feeding look from the side. He's good shaped, good looking, long hipped, extremely bendy out back, extremely heavy bone type animal here from Kendall Whittington.
Yeah, Evan Green if it worked out. Yep. This is Merrow Farms here. We got tag 113 is the blue one. We'll start there. Light crossbred, Wild Time, Savage, Karma. Mom here was purchased off the farm from Kurt Morgan. Obviously the Wild Time boar there at Gary Todd's. The Mike Steele pig is doing a really good job. The spotted pig here in the ring is an Insurrection Unicorn. Insurrection is a boar that Merrow raised that Beeman buys. I've seen a lot of pigs out of that boar this time. They're kind of an anomaly in the way that they're put together. I think that boar's doing as a unique of a job making spotted pigs as any that are out there. And then the dark cross pig, Wild Time again, next intention. Mom here was the power female that CSP sold for $15,000. Grandma was the champion at the Arkansas State Fair. Brings you some here that the guesswork's taken out from the mama side. I know I got to see this blue one at the farm the other day and got to look at all of them, but I sent a text to a few of our folks that said, hey, Ross is bringing one to Holy Smoke. We got to try to own. The blue division is getting more competitive all the time, but honestly, on my travels, I don't know if I've been hit as hard by one as this one. I think that's a bad dude.
Yeah, as JD is talking about that blue one, like he said, that division's getting tougher. But with that, I think that we're going to get to a point where blues can beat the belts. I might be the only hater around ringside that might think that, but just watch it happen because it's on the rise. This blue pig, like he said, he's long-hipped, he's comfortable, he's got a big hind leg, and his hind leg might be bigger than his front arm. That is so hard to master in blue pigs, in my opinion. Extremely stout about his skull and loose and comfortable. You know, this spotted pig on our comments here, Merrow says, boar alert. Man, is that thing wild looking and bendy built. He's chromed up colored, and I like that about him. This belt, he comes out of a sow from Coulson or Evan there around ringside. It says she's expensive. That doesn't surprise me. Nothing Evan ever sells is cheap. This thing is broad. He's dense. He's got an awesome hip and hind leg in terms of one that's got extra bone feature and set to his rear leg. He's still square up front. A very good trio here from Merrow Farms that you definitely need to look in on.
And shown to a high degree. Did you see Ross bending down and getting after that one?
You also just promoted his pig like you're buying him, so I don't know if we need to try that hard.
Yeah, somebody better saddle up. Oh, yeah. Hey, this is Jennings coming into the ring here with a spotted male that is clipped. His hair and skin is perfect, and he's broke to drive. There is no doubt that Brady loves this one. It looks to me like this one was worth the extra elbow grease it took to get him this ready. That is a real unique spotted pig that's crazy looking up front, really big featured at the ground, and just looks like the kind that when he reaches full maturity and gets to fighting weight will make the rest of us wish we would have bought him here at the Holy Smoke.
Yeah, I don't know how many sales spots are at OYE within the spotted division. It wouldn't surprise me if this Holy Smoke pig sale doesn't fill them. I want you to take a second and look at that wall 2023 that Jennings brought a pair of mangy spots to here. Holy smoke, that brought 2,500 and 3,500, and I was contending on both of those last time I checked. They went on and won at the highest level. I don't know a guy that brings pigs to a pig sale and has them win any more than this Brady Jennings. Man, he's got to figure it out. Never second guess him. You know, I bought his gilt here this spring. She's on fire. She was reserve grand last week. I like her more than JD does, but that's nothing hashed out here. This pig is so similar from the side in terms of height to length ratio, build, balance, and look ahead of their blade. This Brady's got it going on. Man, he doesn't like it when we crack jokes about his skin and hair. In all seriousness, study the pig. He's tagged 69 for a reason. It's always a good number to tie into.
Yeah, I kind of wish he wouldn't have brushed that one. Could have bought him for about 2,500 less. These are Hicks pigs and a little upstart outfit there in Elgin, Oklahoma. Man, they're doing a good job. Hicks's pigs have been winning at the highest level. It's really awesome to get a pair of them out here that look like this. If you've been paying attention, not only did he have a good OYE last year, but the year before was awesome as well, and the year before that. You could go through the history books of all the shows that guy has won. You could look at the sales sheets on the gilt side or the Barra side, and not only is there lots of pigs bred directly by TKO, but the influence that females he has sold have done for people, the boars he's raised have done for people, is probably unmatched in our state. Kyle's a real good friend of mine, and really excited for him with the pair that he brought here to the Holy Smoke.
You know, that's probably the the most serious that JD's been all night in terms of just talking about livestock and pedigrees, in terms of how Hicks lines them up. You know, I had the opportunity to meet Hicks when I was a young child. For those of you that don't know, that was still a long time ago for me. And my father said, you know, he's probably one of the better hog breeders around the country because he's not afraid to stick to his guns and do what he believes in. And if this pair don't just tell you that, then I don't know what does. This predominantly black one, man, is he weird looking from the side in terms of skull, bone, a look ahead of his blade. He's a long hip one that's extremely comfortable. You know, when that one packs on the heat someday, he could be so much fun to go ahead and have in your show barn. I want to bet against him with a head like that. This belted one, you know, his ability to just be comfortable, build right, and balance from the side, I'm really drawn to. I like livestock like that. That look from the side, man, and that looks like sailmaker quality. Don't pass up on this one just because he's ran in here with a crazy looking freak.
And no. These are Richie's Polands and purebred pigs here. I think one of these has got some pretty high boar value, honestly, within this breed. The one Ruger's on is tag 151. And the one that Chloe's on here is 152. This is a pair of litter mate, 20 litters, state and facts, no clue. Mom here was the champion at nail for Rodibaugh's family. State and facts, obviously, at this point, utilizing some frozen semen there. But man, that thing's been around and in pedigrees for so long. It says here that these aren't your grandpa's Polands, and I'd probably agree with that. They didn't used to have this kind of hair, this kind of bone, and this kind of look. This firm's been really hard to beat in this breed for a really long time, and brings you a pair of males here that looks like they can have some big success come March.
I feel like we're a blast from the past with this state and facts deal. And man, the Polands were so good when that boar was ran through there for his rookie sire crop. This one Chloe's on, man, as he built right, he's comfortable in terms of how he's built. His balance is to the highest degree. a good pig there. Like JD said, you know, this one's probably got born potential, but man, would it not be fun to cut this thing and just see what you could do at the highest level. His ability to be heavy boned, extremely loose built to outback. His ability to have extra cushion and set to his pastern is very, very good. He's square on both ends of his build. A good pair of Polands from Richie, tags 151 and 152.
We've got tags 86 and 87 here in the ring now. These are Holtz pigs. Tag 86 is the Dark Cross. Leave No Doubt, Tarantino Cruel. Mom's a litter mate to the Grand at Houston. Leave No Doubts, and It Ain't Easy, Stay Classy. He's a mate to the Calico Gilt Bait Showed last winter that made the sale at OIE. Got the old Never Before Lot Lizard sow here on top and bottom on that one. That sow line's been good for not only Holt, but goes back to the King's Place and has been good there a long time. Tag 87, the 14-liter light cross pig, is a blowing smoke hot take never before. I remember when John Mark made this mating to hot take 47.3, trying to make him a group of keeper gilts and to try to make some show pigs someday that were like quarter bloods. And man, I think as you study in on this blue one here, watching a plan come to fruition is really neat for John Mark. I think a neat pair that he brings you.
This blue one jumps through the gate, and man, is he good underneath in terms of the width of his chest, the squareness from blade knee to ground. He's great in terms of his proportions, a short-bodied one that's still long enough out front, an extremely dense, heavy-boned one as he meets the surface. More importantly, he's round-ribbed and comfortable. You know, he looks like he's got his quarter purity within him, but it allows him just to look like he's going to feed to the highest degree. This belt comes in, and honestly, from the side, he reminds me so much of that bear that wins Houston. I got a chance to feed pigs out of this one's mom last spring, and they were very, very good. Unfortunately, we lost that one just way too soon. She was so good, in my opinion. This belted pig, like I said, his look, his build, and his presence from the sides, very good. Not to mention, is he good coming at you? He's good leaving you, and he's got the right type of shape up high to make an excellent big fat one there, the larger weights there at OYE. Good pair here from Holt.
Wilbur pig here in the ring now, and I know two things about Grant. He hates selling gilts, and probably more importantly, he hates selling blue gilts. And he bring this one in the ring here and look at her. She does so many of the things that Grant loves in terms of just being a broad built one up high, having a good look there ahead of her blade, still being stout at the ground. Studying on the pedigree here, white feather, slow hand. Sow's a mate to the reserve heavyweight at Austin last time. I know that's a sow line that he's been working on for a minute there in Cherokee. I think a gilt that he brings you because he's proud of her. I know letting this one go is going to be awfully hard for my gilt hoarding buddy Grant.
You know, we're getting on the short rows here of the Holy Smoke Pig Sale. With that, this Wilbur and I, man, could we talk about blue pigs all day? We both kind of got an infatuation with them. This gilt, honestly, I'd be lying to you if I said, as a person that doesn't need to buy any more females, have I not caught myself just catching glimpses of this gilt, posing up in her pen and thinking she could ride back to Chalmers, and it wouldn't hurt my feelings. It might make the rest of my crew a little upset because I do have a hoarding addiction there. This tag 131, though, man, is she so honest and good in terms of her skeleton. She's honestly perfect from the side in terms of her length of body, length out back, and still being one that's so long from her shoulder forward to the end of her nose. But yeah, she's got a stout skull laid in her. Wilbur did it again, and man, he always brings one to Holy Smoke Pig Sale that gets along. This one I could see having really high upside and some big steps to follow in the near future.
We've got DL coming in here, and I know Dane Logan's a place that Biscuit thinks is a honey hole, but down here in Oklahoma, we've been knowing about Dane Logan for a minute. He's been bringing good pigs to the Holy Smoke for a real long time. Tags 93 and 94 are littermate 33 litter, hold your breath, God's gift. Good litter here. Mom's a first litter sow. Hold your breath, sister, raised the third out division. Dark cross there at the Ohio State Fair in 24. And then tag 95, the other dark cross male, the 32-litter pig, is a snap that tricked out. Mom here's a mate to the Russell Barra that won all summer in Ohio in 23. Grandma's a mate to the Abraham sow that Coulson buys here a few years ago that I'm sure everybody remembers. That one was kind of a standout that season. I know Evan loves his Abraham sow.
Yeah, Evan never bets against the odds here. And Dane, when he drops back in here, I've never thought he's a honey hole because the last time I checked, when I saw that bunk gill there at the Southwest Regional, she gave me chills down the backside of my neck. I thought, man, what I could do to buy her. Unfortunately, Trace Amigos just had more money when it came to the Tulsa pig sale. Otherwise, I'm sure she would have been collected there within my bad hoarding addiction. This one that Chloe's on to the left that's painted up, he comes in, and that thing's got a stout skull. He's definitely got the mean mug and the big chest. He's so square and honest out of the backside of his shoulder. He's big about his pins, and he's comfortable out back. This one to my right, I think he's tagged 93. Man, do I not just draw to this one in terms of his type, kind, and comfortability. His composition for a sale pig, I think, is awesome. His look ahead of his blade, his width of his chest, his hair just dripping off of his body, and yet his muscle pattern's longer than some. I think Barras in the big ring that are built like this, poured into with a feed bucket, are very hard and undeniable. Definitely reminds me of some Barras that were showed last winter. They're my pal sitting next to me. This big one that's running around here, that thing's got a crazy looking skull, and how he props up out of the top side of his neck is so admirable. He's short in his body length, but he's long enough out back. Barras with this type of hip and hind leg, in my opinion, always find their way to the top end of it. I'll be honest with you, this DL genetics, there's nobody that brings them any hardier to a pig sale. I saw them breaking them there in the back. Man, do they come along fast and to the highest degree.
We've got tag 99 and 100 here from Warner, and if you've ever came to the Holy Smoke pig sale and paid attention to the pictures on the wall, Warner's had as many winners come out of this sale as anybody, and honestly, I was up there not long ago and saw these pigs in the nursery and really tried to pry him out of his hands, but he wasn't overly interested in that. White pigs have been at a premium this fall trying to get them bought. It's very neat to see the set of them that are in the barn today, but man, I knew these were coming. I was excited to see them. They've done nothing but get better since I was at his place, and very proud of this pair of pigs. I know Nate is. Be exciting to see these things feed out.
My favorite part when consigners drop in, I can tell how serious you guys are around ringside. Well, listen up. You need to check back and check your pulse because this pair you need to study up and look at. You know, I'll be honest with you, Nate may not have the best ability in terms of clipping the back side of their necks, but this pair here I think are very, very good. This tag 100, he's a little bit bigger and longer about his pattern. Don't take that out of stretch or imagination because he's still moderate and bold and stout, and I really like that pig. When he came off the trailer, I was giving Nate a little crap that I might like this tag 99 better. They enter the ring, and this tag 100 gets my gears going. This tag 99, man, is that thing stout, broad, and mobile. From the side, the set to his shoulder and the bend to his arm is so unique for a strong-footed one. He's got an extremely bigger leg that's got no quit in it, extremely boxy and stout. Man, his shelf life looks like it could be good. He's a stout, broad, mobile one. Nate outdid himself here within this pair of white ones at the Holy Smoke pig sale.
98 here is the dark cross gilt, and she's a wide awake space alien. Mom had the 4th overall gilt at Ohio there this summer. Tag 97 is a litter mate. Those are 111 litter pigs. And again, when I was there, I thought it was kind of funny that he told me this mom was a space alien. I didn't actually know that maybe that's exactly what she was genetically. I just thought he was telling me she was weird looking. And honestly, if you just told me these pigs were out of something called space alien, it would make sense to have that kind of presence and that kind of shape. They honestly look a little cartoonish in some of the pieces they have. I think a really neat pair here in these 111s.
Yeah, the space alien was a next son that Nate had at his house. Honestly, it died just a nickel too quick. Honestly, Chloe, just let this gilt run around and prance because the high gear is so interesting. This wide awake thing, simply no joke. You know, I'm probably pretty biased after that one our crew got to show. I know if you ask Cantrell, he would say that she's probably a pretty nice pig that won the expo. This gilt honestly mirrors her in a lot of facts in terms of being crazy looking, hard backed, and extremely flexible off both ends of her skeleton. She's extremely good when she drives right at you. This little male pig to the right, man, when his head props up and everything levels out, he's very, very neat from the side. He's wide-chested. He's wide-chested, big-ribbed, and extremely square out of the backside of his shoulder. Warner does it again with a very interesting pair here, a good quadrep, a good set of 4 that he... Not a word. We've got tags 63 and 64 in the pen now. These are Keplinger's pigs, and the tag 63 is the 49 litter pig. Hold on tight, next contestant. Hold on tight. It's a boar that he's got there that's a buckle up, tricked out. And then tag 64 is a 54 liter. Hold on tight, class time, never before. I know as I was through there the other day, Kep told me that he was sending this pair down to smoke, and I really tried to pry on him to let me have this black one. I said, hey, he's black. He ain't got to go to a pick sale. It may not be received as good as some others, but man, you get this thing out here, and he's as shiny, he's as sharp looking as any of them. He's stout, he's sound. I think a lot of good things happening in that one. Belted pig looks like he's built to feed. I think Kep's in a really good pair south. This black one, like JD, man, is that thing creased up high, and I love how he comes out of the top side of his shoulder. He's extremely loose and comfortable and round ribbed. Looks like he could feed to the highest degree. This belted one, he comes out of here with just a little extra style and pizzazz from the side. I like that about him. His ability to have extra bend off both ends of his skeleton is to the highest degree. A good pair here from Keplinger, a firm that there isn't a firm anywhere in the country as hot as them guys are right now, and definitely a good place to slide your chips in, and don't bet against them boys in Ohio at Keplinger Farms. Roogs on tag 76 here from Mays and KP. Carney Man, safe word. Hey, if you haven't been paying attention, this Carney Man deal that they've got going on down there is real good. That's a boar Mike Steele raised. It was a litter mate to the champion D1 at OIE last time. And man, crossbreds have looked different at that ranch this year than about any other place I've been. And pretty much all of them have been out of this boar. I'd say get him on your short list because he's made pigs short-bodied, heavy boned, and good looking. And bring this one out here. He's maybe a little greener and a little smaller than some of the other pigs that we've looked at today, but I'd tell you that thing is not only OIE size, he's OIE style in terms of type and kind. And again, I'm a fan of this Carney Man deal. I think it's going to be very good. I don't know who let the dogs out, but man, it's getting heated up in here. And like when this one came through the ring, JD said, dang, that's a nice pig. And I couldn't agree more. This Cade Penley and Mays, they're heating up here. And they've sent some very, very good pigs north that I've been very fond of. Just unfortunate our crew wasn't able to buy them because they definitely were the highest quality to the highest degree. This pig comes in, he's short in his body length, he's elevated, he's really good looking, and he's good shaped out back. You know, he probably isn't the most pimped on one in terms of width, but this one's look, build, and presence from the side probably as good as any of them within the sale offering.
Tag 78 here is the chub, and that's a friction boxed out. Mom came from Brook Show Pigs and was a mate to the champion Chester Gilt at OIE in 2020. And I don't watch the Chester breed very often at that show or pay attention to it, but I do remember sitting on the KV booth there and watching this one's mom's show. And she wasn't a big pig at the show, but she was so much above the other Chesters that season in terms of just quality that, man, she won easy, even though she wasn't a big pig. And studying on that one, there's a lot of Chester shows across the country. That one would win very, very easily. The blue-eyed one here looks like if a guy wanted to get creative, he could probably become a a white pig pretty easy. That's a Slim Shady proposal. Slim Shady's at a little bit of a no-name boar stud up north, but a pig that looks like he's doing a good job. I'll let Blake talk about him.
Yeah, you know, JD's probably a little biased when it comes to the white game, but this Slim Shady's on his heels and may catch him before he knows it, especially with that type of attitude. This white one comes in, and his build and his proportions are something that's going to be talked about, and I think that's so important. His ability to have a perfect height to length ratio, awesome bend and mobility, but yet being strong-footed, he's good there. This Chester comes in, and honestly, he gets on the short rows for me. Just in terms of obviously JD likes him if you can't tell. Tag 78 Brooks. Sorry, not Brooks. Mays and Penley out of a Brooks South that was champion in OYE. JD still likes him.
Bring in tag 91 and 92 here of sights, and even though we just looked at a pretty good Chester in the last pen, I'd say, hey, the Chester show ain't over. Better study in on this one. This thing's sharp looking with tons of shape up high. Got a great big hip and a good hind leg. I think the Barra and the Gilt here look pretty similar in the way that they're put together. These are Time to Keep, Ego, Fescue, good litter. Sal raised one that sold the Crossroads last year. Barras that were champion at Texas Counties in her first litter. Time to Keep is a perfect fit son at WD.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Time to Keep is out of maybe WD 40's mom. Probably need to check my encyclopedia for that, according to Hicks. But this pair come in, and I tell you, Sides told me earlier, he said, you know, my pigs probably aren't the most whip broke, but I do tell you, don't hold that against them because they are to the highest quality. This male pig, he comes in, he's square and honest in his build. He's very good in terms of conformation or composition, in my opinion. I know JD with a large vocabulary is going to make fun of me at some point, but not to mention here, this gilt for a purebred gilt in this setting, I honestly think she's at the top of my short list. This tag 92 is no joke. The way she comes out of the front side of her body with that type of look and presence for this breed is to the highest degree. She's very good out of the backside of her blade, but more importantly, when you prop her up from the side, her upper line and her lower line are very symmetrical in my opinion, and yeah, she's she's very comfortable in terms of her hip and hind leg. A good pair here from Sides, a guy that I know is very serious about the Chester breed. Tags 91 and 92.
Uh, 118 is the spotted pig in here, and I'd say if you're hunting a spot bearer for the Oklahoma Youth Expo, the Holy Smoke Pig Sale is the place to be. This one here is a stopwatch silencer, 38.5s, the first offering out of the mom of the champion spot bearer at Coba last year and the reserve champion spot at the American Royal in 24. And then the belted pig here in the ring is another one of these surroundeds. And man, we've got to see a lot of surrounded pigs, and I hate that those guys lost him because that boar is going to make a difference and has made a lot of good pigs in a short time. That pig's a surrounded, good day, stay classy. Mom here would have been a keeper gilt out of the 34-6, stay classy, never before Corb sow. Good days, a litter mate to Daylight, raised by the Day family.
Yeah, JD just hitting on about surrounded, and I would tell you, I've had the opportunity to see quite a few of those pigs over the short amount of litters that he had. This thing comes out, and I love the shape of his skull in terms of just being that mean mug that says I'm going to feed, but yet when he props up from the side, I think he's good in terms of his height to length ratio, his build, and his balance out back. You know, this spotted pig, he jumps into the ring here, and man, he just demands my attention. In terms of height to length ratio, comfortability, squareness underneath. This winner circle, I don't know if there's very many people that are trying as hard within this spotted division as they are. They do a very, very good job. Like I said, I don't know how many sales spots are within the spotted division at OYE. Would not surprise me if this Holy Smoke Pig Sale doesn't check every box within that division. I bet JD is going to be looking really hard at this tag 118.
Evan, you going to buy that puppy? These are tags 119 and 120. Winner circle again. Spotted female, classified, remain silent. Exciting first time female here that did a good job. And I'd say that's an understatement as these run into the ring. These are mates to the she sale gilt that they sold a week or so ago there in Wellston.
That she sale gilt I thought was so unique in terms of her composition, feature, and bone, and yet you drop these back in here, and like I hinted at earlier, I think it's important to buy good pigs out of good litters, and this pair here do that. This tag 120, she's a little bigger in terms of her kind, and I like that about her because I think to make big gilts that play at the highest level, it is so important to have a shot more scale in them. And this gilt's ability to be length, have the right type of length off both ends, square in her joints, and good in terms of her feet is to the highest degree. This one that Chloe's on, man, she comes at you in terms of a little wilder package, in my opinion. She's really neat looking. She's very good shaped, and one that I think just looks like a good feeding pig. A good pair here from Winter Circle. Tags 119 and 120.
Tag 71 here starts the Trogon consignments. That's the belted pig that Chloe's kind of following around there. That's a modern day Messiah. First litter sow that came from Moyer that had a real good show career for those guys. Won a class and got a piece of her division there at their state fair. So that's the belted pig, tag 71. And then tag 73 is an in-game buckle up first litter sow from Riggs. Grand Dam here's a mate to the reserve Grand Gilt at the Indiana State Fair. These Trognans, these guys have been winning shows in our state for a long, long time. And these are the kind of pigs it looks like they normally have at the end that win something. Stout featured ones that are good looking that still have muscle. I think a pair that looks like they've got a high ceiling.
This belted one drops in here, and like JD said, you know, Chloe's probably just following him around, and that's because this pig comes at you with an extra gear in terms of look, build, and comfort. His tail sets right up on his body. He's extremely good when he drives right at you. You know, I'm going to take a one-liner out of Kelton's book here. This tag 73, you know, this tag 70. This tag 73, you know, the only prejudice people have against solid black people are people at pig sales. Solid black pigs are people at pig sales. Yeah, we got a solid black division at the Texas National. I heard there's a really high quality judge for that. This tag 73, like I said, Kelton always said that the only prejudice against black pigs are from people at pig sales, because when you get them in the show ring setting, it really doesn't affect their placing. This pig here, man, he jumps in here. He commands your attention in terms of bone, arm, and skull. I love the look that he gives you ahead of his blade. He's got a great big arm. And yeah, you set this thing in motion and prop him up from the side. I love his build, balance, look, and proportions. Like I said, black pigs are on the rise. I definitely got a bunch of them on feed there in the Midwest. I like this tag 73 quite a bit. JD, you better look in here. He might bite you in the rear end at some point.
Whatever Kelton says was not that. I'd say the world better take a little more serious tone as this 72 drops out. Dark cross female here with an incredible pedigree, wide awake roll call, first litter sow here that goes back to the rock star sow that they're kind of trying to build around there. Extended pedigrees, the John Hines version here is roll call, no intro, rock star, in-game sister. And if a pedigree looks like that, I think you should always include it. That's generations of boars there that on the bottom side of pedigrees can create winners to a high degree. You've got a female in the ring now that not only has got an immense show value, but this one's life after the show ring could make somebody a lot of money. This thing looks like she could print cash someday to me.
A really good pig here from Trogon in terms of a wide awake sire gilt that's big chested, extremely comfortable off both ends of her skeleton. She's really neat looking and round ribbed. Yet I think the most impressive part is how level she is at the back side of her shoulder to the front side of her tail. A very loose, athletic gilt from the side that props up awesome in terms of her build and balance from the side. I knew you would. Better buy that black pig.
You know, we got to see this one in the back earlier, and I wanted to figure out whose it is because, man, this thing looks like in a purebred gilt show setting someday. She could be so hard to beat. This is a Weamer Poland head start power play state and facts. Mom was purchased out of the exchange with Nat and Boyson. Sal here is a full son to the Lucy gilt that Trogon showed. They've got a lot of notes here, and honestly, I'd say you should go talk to these guys and let them tell you the story behind this sow. There's a reason this pig looks as good as she does. She's backed by generations of champions. She looks like she can be a champion herself.
I got the opportunity to see this one on Snapchat a couple days ago, and man, it was that Trogon Guild this past summer. So memorable, in my opinion. If I'm not mistaken, she got a piece of her division at Expo in Louisville, and this is a bred sound purchase out of the exchange there from Boyson Show Pigs. This tag 31, like JD said, you know, she's destined for the backdrop from the side in terms of a good-looking, attractive gilt. More importantly, when she comes at you, she's good about her elbow pocket, really good and solid about her front foot placement. This gilt's ability to just collect yourself to the highest degree, I think is very, very good within the Poland division. Tag 31, another one to add to the arsenal of purebred gilts here at the Holy Smoke Pig Sale in Mulhall, Oklahoma.
Got tag 32 and 33 here in the ring now. Again, this is going to round out the Weamer consignments. 32 is the bigger hog there on the far side of the ring. And study in on that one. That's a Thunder All Rise. Thunder's the reserve boar at Perry. That's out of buckle up on an All Rise sow. Kind of a lined up pedigree in that one. If you study in on it, I think a very good pig there in 32. 33 is a 230 liter pig, AC/DC downplay, no intro. The AC/DC thing has been so good for that firm. Excited to see one here at the Smoke.
This little belt drops in, and man, his ability to be a tall fronted, really good looking bearer from the side that's attractive. That pig's very good in terms of his height to length ratio, his extra comfortability and posture to his front foot placement. This tag 32, he comes in, and I won't lie to you, he demands my attention in terms of being extra tough and stout, broad and dense. I like all those things, especially when you're down here in the Southwest and trying to play for the big prize there at the end. This one's unparalleled in terms of one that's extremely good looking and yet so maxed out in terms of width, bone, and dimension, and yet still square underneath.
– 111 and 112 here in the ring now, and these are Weathers Show Pigs, and man, I got to see these things in the back in the rack kind of covered in soap, and once out and got the soap washed off of them, man, it was fun to look at these things. Study in here, a pair of litter mate 38 liter hogs. Pace yourself blindside. I know the mom here was a sailmaker at Tulsa. She's raised some pigs that have won at a very high level for the Lot family and for others. As these came out, I think we both kind of perked up in our seats a little bit. There's a little difference maybe in type and kind here within the mates, but I tell you, the one constant here is quality. I think in terms of shelf life, Danner will probably hit on that a little bit. These could be here and be around for you for a long time. I think in terms of quality, as good a pair as we've got to look at.
Yeah, like I hinted at earlier on one of the smaller gilts, you know, that ROI in terms of investment for gilts that are getting a sale out of D1 at OYE seems like it's to the highest degree. I know we were contending on a couple of them last spring and just simply put, couldn't get them bought. This is a wider belted one from the side. You know, she might be just that much more extra wild in terms of how she ties out the top side of her shoulder. That thing's extremely long from the front side of her blade to the tip of her nose. This is so impressive when she drives right at you in terms of the width of her chest, the squareness of her knee, the strength of her front feet. You know, probably sitting ringside, the two guys at this table probably differ in terms of which one their favorite is. I know this Okie sitting next to me is going to dig into the details there on that tag 112. She looks like his speed and his kind in the time we're going to orient when he gets his opportunity to judge someday. This tag 111 is a short-bodied, bold-ribbed, extreme extremely broad built gilt, and I'm drawn to that. Not only does she look like she could be so neat from the side within the show ring standpoint, but I think JD tried to pull one from Brock's one-liners. Simply put, when you put this one back in the sound program, man, does that thing look like she could print some cash. I like that about her. Like that big? I like that.
We've got 104 here that Jordan's on, 106 that Ruger's on, and studying on this pair of 36 litter pigs. OG next, mate to the leadoff or the leadoff will be the 104, and then the 106 is the litter mate. Studying here, Mom was a real high dollar gilt that they bought here from Dieterding. You could study the pedigree behind that one for a little bit, and lots of winners stacked in behind these. We've watched Mr. Mollet sell a lot of good calico show bearers this season so far, and honestly, these stack up with any of them. I think a really good pair here to get John's offering started.
A good pair here from Mollet. This tag 106 to my right. He looks like just honest, good built livestock in terms of squareness. From front to rear, he's really good in terms of his proportions. A good headed animal that's extremely stout about his mug, and yet it looks like he's going to read and continue to get stouter with age. I like that about him. This other one that the young lady's on, he comes out and he just creeps out of the gate with an extra neat look in terms of the shape of his head, the set to his ear, and the width of his chest. More importantly, I think his composition for a pig of this size looks like he's going to go home and just feed to the highest degree. A lot of you around ringside are very familiar with Mollet genetics. I don't know of very many better people than that John Mollet. More importantly, his pigs go home and get better for you. I love buying pigs there in the spring from that guy. He's stand-up, class act. Tag 104, like I said, he's good livestock. He looks like he's going to go home and feed. The only thing I would change about him at this current section or moment is that he likes to scream just a pinch. This tag 104, like I said, honest bill and very good from the side.
This one comes out here, and he wanted to kind of climb up on the stage, which kind of makes sense. This thing's got kind of a rock star look to him from the side. A real tall-shouldered one that's shapely up high. Got a really, really good hind leg working in this pig. 105 is his tag. He's an all-out, no moss. I'm pretty sure Mom here is one of No Intro sisters, but certainly a pig that comes out here with lots of quality.
This white-tailed pig here jumps in here, and I think, like I said about Mollet earlier, his ability to get pigs that are just higher quality and their ability to feed is simply unmatched within the show pig industry. I have max respect for that guy and his ability to just make high-quality feeding pigs. This crumbed-up colored white-tailed one comes in. Man, he fits that bill. He's good-looking. He's attractive. I absolutely dig this thing from the side, and I know I've probably been a little repetitive amongst that. I mean that on this one. His ability to get his head over his blade and just be really, really comfortable is to the highest degree. The white-tailed one's tag is 105.
Tag 101 here of Uncle Tim's, and I don't know what breed this one Uncle Tim will want him to show at in Oklahoma City, but I don't care. You could show this one just like he is, show him as a crossbred, and boy, I think he gets along. I don't know if we've seen any of them that have came through the ring with that kind of just presence and yet stay that stout. That is a good chested hog that's really good on his front toes. I think just the length to that pig's body is as close to the ideal as we've seen. He's still a loose stepper out back, really level from the top of his blade all the way back to his tail head. That's an OG Play It Cool. Uncle Tim says that's visitors' favorite. I'd say the right guys have been coming over there and looking at him if they like that one.
Yeah, Tim has been a critic around JD and I and how we've been talking to pigs. Nothing bad. Just said we need to come up with something creative. Simply put, this one looks like he was built out of a zoo in terms of how he comes out of the top side of his shoulder and from his blade back. That thing's bold, he's stout, and he's broad. More importantly, he's got a good running gear. The guy sitting next to me said, this one could be real crafty in terms of what breed you want to make him. Keep his ears up or down. You got a lot of opportunity here from Heron Farms.
Tim says if you don't like the last one for a Poland, you may like this one. Tag 107 here. Tune in. I think another good pig. He is a Titan all in, so a little unique pedigree tied into this one. Another pig that comes out here with a pretty unique kind of a presence.
This thing crawls in here, and man, is this thing so extravagant from the side. His build, his balance, his silhouette. Like I've said a little bit earlier on one, this one's drop dead sexy from the side. His ability to come out of the top side of his shoulder, and yet he turns at you with a big square chest. He's so level built and athletic on the move. I know if it was springtime and this one had papers, good luck outbidding me because he'd be on the show team in a hurry.
This is Tim's other pig, 27-7 dark cross male OG trumpet out of Game Time and Witness's grandma. Her resume is lengthy. I'm sure if you catch Tim in the back, he'll read it to you. This is his favorite pig they've raised this season. He says this one is a clone at this stage to the reserve cross at Denver with more of everything. He thinks this pig will feed with exclamation points and emojis and all the things that Tim figured out how to do on his phone. I think he likes this one a great deal.
Yeah, no slander, unmatched. Heron did raise the bear that wins Dallas this week, kind of a chromed up colored pig like this. And this pig, I would say, is so remarkably similar from the side as that bear was in terms of look and height to length ratio, his build and his balance. Uncle Tim here, he's mastered the ability to get everybody run his pigs in at one by one. So we extra study him. I would say is worth the trip here studying on this belt.
Tag 70 here, Cooper Flash in the ring. This is a Ruthless on a 60-17. Mom here's a Whistle Britches, next man up. I'm going to let Danner here read the comments and tell you a little bit about this pig.
You know, George probably got a hold of our sign-in sheet here, and, I probably already slandered once on accident. I ain't going to do it twice. This tag 70 comes in here, and, man, is this thing stout. And I would love for this pig to still be in the nursery and me to show up at George's at 3 a.m. again because I would dang sure to try to talk him out of this one and allow him to head north. This pig's stout. He's broad, he's dense. There may not be a heavier boned animal within the sale offering with that. Collectively, he's as short in his body length and as long in terms of his upper hip within that category in combination as any. Tag 70, you guys kind of draw back in here. I know we're all serious about buying big league players. This thing is heavy boned and dang sure comfortable enough, in my opinion.
We've got tags 116 and 117 in the ring now, and these are steel show pigs. A pair of littermate 3 litters, all out, buckle up. Grandma here raised the bronze overall at OYE in 19. Study in on these, I think a pair of pigs that have got some unique parts and pieces.
A good pair here from Steel and a crew that's getting extremely popular amongst the sale ring, and just being a Midwesterner coming down here, I tell you, I've grown pretty fond of these pigs. This thin belted one, man, is he stout and broad and mobile. This chromed up one from the side, he's got the extra look and presence ahead of his blade. He's still awesome in terms of his front foot strength. An animal that I think is extra hairy and dense. A pair that are very complementary in terms of animals that are extremely stout and heavy bone for their size, but yet they look like they could still be players there in March. A good pair here from Steel that are round ribbed, chunky, and brought to last.
We've got 134 and 135 of Fortner's in the ring, and I could be wrong, but I think we're a first-time consigner here, and looks like he went to the well and brought the goods. These are not litter mates. They're both got a similar pedigree. They're both above and beyond Wetterberg. The 134 tags a 24 liter, the 135 is a 23 liter, but these are full sibs to the Champion Berg at Houston in 21, or the sow is a full sib rather. I think a pair of these Berkshire males that have got a real high ceiling.
Yeah, I honestly like about how contrasting they are in their kind, and I figured out within my ability to feed Berkshires, it's okay for them not to be built alike. This one that Chloe's on, man, he comes at you with the extra look and presence ahead of his blade. That thing is absolutely wild looking out front, and yet I would say his composition for being a Berkshire is awesome. One that I still love his proportions from the side. When he comes at you, he's square and honest about his chest. Got a really good shape to his skull. The little moderate chunky one probably comes at us, like I just said, and a shot more moderate type fraction. I like that about him, and yet that thing is so loose and comfortable out back. I love how his tail cranks up on his body. More importantly, I still think he's got an attractive look from the side. He's very comfortable. He's balanced and got an awesome rear leg. One that I think could have the utmost highest degree of quality as when he gets to heavier weights.
Mm. 141 of ham bones here, and this is an all-out, quite frankly. Mom here's anything goes at Top Cuts. Littermate sister. Male here's a mate brother to the 98 liter that sold good last week online, including that gilt they had that was a high seller. You study in on this one, and I got to look at him at the house the other night. We kind of trotted this one around, and I think we use the word proportions a lot and talk about that and show pigs and kind of run that word into the ground. But I do think this one's proportions are neat. He's a tall shouldered pig that's good chested. I think he's a cool pig from the side because he's long ahead of his blade, but yet he's short enough about his body length, and I still think he's got some length out of his rump. He's got a few things to do, but if this pig does the right things, I certainly don't want to show against him. I think a really neat kind of animal here that Ham brings you.
Yeah, a couple things. When this one drops into the ring, the first thing I saw when I saw this pig, I told Ham, I said, man, this is a big pig for you at a pig sale. And that just shows you how much confidence he's got in his ability to feed. Second thing is if JD was at Ham's house, I can only imagine how much time it took for him to try to beg and plead to put this one on feed because this one's pieces are large, and they might be, this pig might have as many big pieces as any within the sale offering. It's hard to build them from the side, from their shoulder blade forward like that, and yet still have that type of width of chest and squareness to their knee, but yet still have enough bend and flexibility out of their shoulder. Like JD said, you know, he's got to do a couple things, but I want to never bet against that Ham in anything he does. He's very, very good pig breeder, very good pig feeder. If he's got confidence in this pig, then I do too. Tag 141. He's got the large pieces. I love this pig and those pieces he brings to the table.
These are the Hoff Schulte pigs here. 85 is the darker colored pig there in the ring, and 96 is the belt. This 85, man, this thing's weird looking. All right. Yeah, the one Nora's on is 85. That pig, saw him in the back, saw him coming from the wash rack. He's got as many far-reaching pieces as any we got to see, and just study the shape to that one's skull, and it tells the story from there back. Stout featured one that's huge up high, got great big limbs, and what I'm so impressed about with this pig is his arms big, his feet are big, but yet he's still propped up on his toes as good as any pig that we've had in the offering. I don't know that he's got a rival in terms of stoutness of forearm and front foot and just the jaw and shape to his head. That thing just looks tough. Comes out here with a little different kind of presence. Man, I dig that one a great deal. And this belted pig, whacked out, no intro. Obviously a pedigree there that looks like it would work on paper, and then you put the pig in front of the crowd and it all makes sense. Tag 96 there, the dark cross.
Now all the chips are starting to slide together. Here, this Berkshire male pig, Hoff Schulte just told me he's a double crypt, and I've just been over here painfully thinking, why does this thing not have two in them or down? Because I would love to put this one in my trailer and take him home as a board prospect. Like Chris said, he's a double crypt. They will guarantee him. What I'm going to say about this one, man, he gets me fired up, and I absolutely love this pig. I think this pig's elite, and that word's so overused within this industry and overpopulated. If you don't find this one elite, then I just simply don't know. From the brim of his nose back, man, that thing's so good. Like JD said, his front feet are awesome, and he's long enough out back. It's unfortunate that Surrounded is gone because the impact that he's going to make. I remember that pig so much there at PT there in the last round from Brock. He did it again. Just unfortunately, he's gone and on the wayside at the current moment. Buy into one of these prospects because I think you could slide your chips in, especially when it comes to the Calcutta. This belted pig here, he's a belted pig that I think has extra quality. He's big-haired, he's good-looking, he's long-hipped, he's extremely comfortable on both ends of his skeleton. You know, it's probably not fair for this one. If Uncle Tim got to slide him in individually, this pair should have too, because this pig is so good in so many areas. You know, he might get a shot overshadowed by his partner in crime, but this pig's square underneath. He's good looking. He's level out back. He's extremely comfortable in terms of this view. This pig, I won't lie to you, he's on the short rows for me, and I've had the opportunity to probably buy as many Hoff Shy pigs as any around the ringside. This pig, well, I guess besides Sister Nat, but just in general, this type of pig from there feeds to the highest degree. You better have this pair marked. If you're not focused in, simply put, you're not too serious about buying show pigs. Holy smoke weekend.
We've got 74 and 75 here, and our notes are a little off here on our sheet. But I think they're both 19 litters. Look like they're both mates. We've got them tagged on our sheet as 75 and 76. We'll get that changed at some point here, get a tag changed one way or the other. But if you're looking at them in person here, 75 is the belted male, or if you're online following along, 75 is the belted male again here. That's a whacked out young love. Mom was a sail maker at OIE last year, and I remember that one for just her build and stoutness. Looked a lot like this pig. And boy, I'm drawn to that one's type and kind. He looks like a pig that'll feed. He looks like a pig that'll work. Got a great big cage and a big hind leg that goes straight forward. That's the kind I like, a great deal. And then this black one comes in here, and Blake's not allowed to talk about black pigs anymore, so I'll do that for him. A real sharp looking one that's athletic. Looks like he's got the pieces to be elite when he gets big.
JD, you know, there's a lot of things I'd like to call you at the moment, but I'll just call you a good pal. And his tag 74, his look, his build, and his presence are to the nines. He's dang sure shiny from the side. This belted pig, like you said, his ability to have lots of utility in terms of bone, width, and comfortability. Last time I checked, just sitting around the ringside, this looks like a pig you're going to try to gather up, and it wouldn't surprise me why. His ability to be long-hipped, comfortable, heavy boned, and very, very good when he drives right at you is probably as good as any within the sale offering. Tag 75, like I said, better be on the short rows. We've had a good set of prospects here within the Holy Smoke Pig Sale, and I would say if you garner the results through the years, it'd be hard to beat any pig sale within Oklahoma. You okay over there? It'd be hard to garner any more champion bearers here when you get to the big stage as Holy Smoke Pig Sale.
These are the Todd Show Pig consignments. Tag 21 is the belted male in the ring. That's a Say Something Icon Uno. Mom was purchased at the Hawaii Gilt Sale in 23. All of the mates here have sold at live sales. And if you've been following along and paying attention, those guys have been selling pigs high, both online and at live sales. And it's because the pigs look like this. They're stout featured. They're bulky in terms of their build. They got the right kind of length of spine and just height length ratio. All makes sense why those pigs would sell high, why people would think they could feed. That one's patterned from the side. Just looks like the kind that can win when they're big. And obviously, Gary's been working hard on this Poland deal and is tied into some genetics that have allowed him to rise really, really quickly in that breed, and they're winning at a clip that's honestly unmatched right now. Pig here's a sorry not sorry lefty, litter mate to the she sale gilt that people liked. Mom produced the reserve purebred gilt there at the Tulsa State Fair. Study in on this pair, man. I think a great way to end our offering. Go find these breeders in the back, look up the pigs. Lots of good folks here that'd love to talk to you about their stock in the back.
You know, I could say we're the short rows, but obviously for those of you around ringside, we're nearing the end here. And this belted pig, he comes in and he comes at you with an extra tough look. He's built in terms of a stout fashion, extremely broad in terms of the brim of his nose and the shape of his skull, good out of the backside of his shoulder, and so impressive when he leaves you. In terms of width and dimension, a great front-footed animal. Then this Poland drops in, and you know it's probably taken Chloe a shot longer to collect him than what we would assume. This pig's look from the side, his height to length ratio for this breed, hit the shape of his skull, the length of his neck, is so impressive. This pig's got big bones and sturdy feet within the Poland breed. Like JD said, you know, there's probably not another guy and within this Poland division within the last couple weeks that's any higher in terms of priority than this Gary Todd. And I can see why. When he drops this pig in, that she sale gilt was so popular. Not very often do you find a Poland to start the sale with. She did there. I would bet that this Poland's pretty high in the sale order, no matter which round they ran them in. Like I said, extremely high quality group, and I hinted at this earlier on 4W Livestock. It's such an impressive group of show pigs from top to bottom. Truly a class act event that has as many high quality pigs come out of it within a show barrow fashion, or even boars at times that reach to the highest degree. The Inman crew did it again by getting the right consigners here in Mulhall, Oklahoma, and the consigners did a great job bringing them to you.
Couple quick housekeeping things. We're going to start the preview again tomorrow morning at 11. And then the Calcutta is going to close at noon. Again, the winner, the person that spends the most money there on the Calcutta is going to the Ragweed concert. So I'd say get over there and get some bidding done. That's going to be a real good party for everybody. And then the sale is going to start at approximately 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Don't hold us tight to that schedule. But again, preview at 11, Calcutta closes at noon, and then the sale is going to try to start off around 1. And Wilhelm's going to play his guitar and sing and drink beer and smoke cigarettes, and it's going to be fun.